Lockheed Martin is responsible for the design and production of the C-5M Super Galaxy strategic transport aircraft. This aircraft is an updated version of the original C-5 and was developed to prolong the capabilities of the C-5 Galaxy fleet to continue in service at least until the year 2040. However, have you ever given any thought to what goes into maintaining the biggest aircraft used by the United States Air Force? Before we reveal it to you, we would want to ensure that it is kept strictly confidential. Thus, let's begin. The Avionics Modernization Project and the Reliability Enhancement and Re-engineering Program were both components of the C-5 Galaxy's upgrade process, which took place in 2 stages. In January of 1999, Lockheed Martin was awarded a contract for $454 million to perform the first part of the refurbishment. The objective of the AMP is to modernize the cockpits of the C-5 aircraft fleet. In December 2001, the awarding of the contract for the second phase took place. The C-5 Galaxy aircraft will have new engines, pylons, thrust reversers, and wing attachment fittings installed as part of this project. A year later, the first C-5 aircraft to be refurbished as part of AMP successfully completed its first flight, and in October 2004, it was handed over to the United States Air Force. The second phase of the project started in the same year and continued until May of 2006, at which time the aircraft was upgraded and renamed C-5M Super Galaxy. The first of the 3 C-5M test aircraft successfully completed its first flight in June 2006, and it was given to the United States Air Force in December 2008 for the purpose of operational testing and evaluation. Both the second and third aircraft successfully completed their maiden voyages. Thus, the United States Air Force gave its approval for the RERP to upgrade an additional 49 aircraft, which included 47 C-5Bs and 2 C-5Cs. Lockheed Martin was awarded an RERP contract for $299 million in February of 2009, allowing the company to construct 9 C-5M aircraft. A contract for the familiarization, operational testing, and assessment of the C-5M, worth a total of $25 million, was also granted to the business as part of the Interim Contractor Support Program. In 2009, the first C-5M transport aircraft went into low-rate beginning production for the first time. Also, a combined flight crew from the United States Air Force and Lockheed Martin flew a test aircraft that went on to break 41 global aeronautical records in a single trip. A year later, the first C-5M production aircraft ascended to the skies for the first time, and in October of the same year, the operational testing and evaluation phase was brought to a successful conclusion. In October 2012, the United States Air Force and Lockheed Martin successfully completed their acceptance flight together. The third C-5M production aircraft successfully completed its first voyage in July 2011, and it was handed over to the United States Air Force in August of that same year. In addition, 5 years ago in 2018, the United States Air Force received receipt of the 52nd and last C-5M Super Galaxy aircraft. The C-5M Super Galaxy transport aircraft provides improved dependability and effective performance while simultaneously lowering the costs of both operation and lifetime. It incorporates more than 70 improvements and reduces the amount of maintenance needed for each flying hour. The length of the airplane is 75.53 meters, while its height is 19.84 meters, and its wingspan is 67.91 meters. The maximum takeoff weight of the aircraft is 381,018 kilograms, while the operational weight of the aircraft is 181,437 kilograms. The airplane is capable of carrying a payload of 129,274 kilograms and has a fuel capacity of 150,819 kilograms. Also, the airplane has a total of 28 wheels spread among 5 sets of landing gears, which are all installed on it. The cockpit and the cargo compartment, a multi-mode communication suite, a mission computer, upgraded navigation radios, digital autopilot, multi-purpose display units, flight management system, safety equipment, and surveillance components are all integrated into the modern glass cockpit. In addition to that, It has built-in controls and diagnostic systems so that it can determine when it needs repair. In addition, the cockpit is equipped with integrated data connection capabilities and situational awareness displays, and it gives the crew anticipated flying performance indications and enhanced situational awareness. The C-5M Super Galaxy is superior to the C-5 aircraft in terms of the amount of air transportable cargo it can carry, as well as the speed and efficiency with which it can load cargo. The military personnel and their supplies are housed in the aircraft's passenger compartment, which is specifically designed for that purpose, the performance and its engine. Each of the 4 GECF 680C2 turbofan engines that power the C-5M Super Galaxy transport aircraft generates a thrust of 50,580 pounds. Both the length and diameter of the engine measure 2.69 meters and 4.26 meters respectively. The engine has a weight of 9,860 pounds when it is dry. The engines meet the requirements for Stage 4 in terms of noise and emissions, and they boost the aircraft's rate of climb by 58% and increase its power by 22%. A standard cruising speed of 0.77 Mach is possible for the aircraft when it is in the air. It can go around 4,800 nautical miles without needing to refuel when carrying 54,430 kilograms of cargo, yet it can travel 7,000 nautical miles without any load at all. The confidential maintenance work. The Rota Naval Station in Cádiz, Spain, is an example of a European military installation that often plays home to C-5M Super Galaxy flying maintenance operations. Rota has an important airbase with a 3,700-meter runway, which is used by the Spanish Navy aircraft flotilla as well as the United States military personnel. In addition to being one of the most significant bases of the Spanish Navy, and the only one that is used jointly with the United States Navy, Rota is also notable for being the only facility that is used jointly with the United States Navy. This includes regular trips by C-5M and C-17 Globemaster III aircraft, which make a pit break at the Spanish facility on their way to or from destinations in Central Europe and the Middle East. In most cases, information on the maintenance of such aircraft is confidential. However, recently, there was a public incident at Rota involving a C-5M Super Galaxy with the registration number 50002, which had the build number 500-0088 and the serial number 85-0002. The aircraft in question was manufactured in 1986. The United States Air Force has not provided any information on the incident. Nevertheless, the news broke as a result of a collection of photographs taken by members of the United States Navy and uploaded to the multimedia website for the United States Armed Forces. The Seabees of the United States Navy, who are part of the Naval Mobile Construction Battalion, NMCB-1, and are based in Rota, are working alongside members of the 436th Maintenance Squadron, MXS, who are based at Dover Air Force Base, to repair one of the rudders on the aforementioned C-5M. The men of the United States Navy who are responsible for the building and repair of structures as well as other military engineering activities are known as Seabees. This is an idiom that literally translates to Seabees, but its roots can be traced back to the letters CB of the construction battalions during World War II. Hustling cargo. The cargo box of the aircraft has dimensions of 13.5 feet in height, 19 feet in width, and 143.75 feet in length. This results in a total cargo capacity of 34,734 cubic feet, or what C-5M maintainers refer to as a warehouse with wings. The cargo aircraft has outlived the main combat tank known as the M60, and it is theoretically capable of transporting 2 M1A2 Abrams tanks. However, the weight of only one Abrams tank is equivalent to 50% of the maximum cargo weight that the aircraft can carry. Also, it has the capacity to transport 350 personnel along with their equipment, as well as 6 UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters and 6 M2 Bradley battle vehicles. The loading and unloading of freight on and off the Galaxy is a lot simpler than it may seem. The bulbous nose of the C-5M is hinged in such a way that it may be lifted up and out of the way of the cockpit, offering complete access to the cargo box. Ground staff are able to drive cars straight onto the aircraft using a ramp located at the back of the plane. Once on board, The vehicles are secured to prevent the weight from moving while in flight. The landing gear of the aircraft, which includes its 28 landing wheels, may hydraulically kneel to the height of a truck bed, enabling goods to be unloaded straight from the plane into trucks that are waiting in the parking lot. Despite its size, the aircraft only has a tiny crew on board, which consists of a pilot, a co-pilot, 2 flight engineers, and 3 loadmasters. Due to the extraordinary range of the aircraft, which allows it to cruise 7,000 miles without the need for refueling, it often carries several crews and has facilities for as many as 15 relief crew members. In addition to that, it has airline-style seating for an additional 75 people that is located in a separate compartment from the cargo hold. The C-5M was designed to have the capacity to transport more cargo than any other aircraft. The cargo bay of the C-5M, which has a volume of around 34,000 cubic feet, is big enough to accommodate 24,844,746 ping-pong balls. Imagine that. The enormous aircraft has a non-stop range of 5,524 miles and can carry 120,000 pounds of cargo before needing to refuel. In addition, the C-5M has an almost unrivaled range because of its ability to refuel while in flight. Because it is such a massive aircraft and has played such a significant part in history, the C-5 has become a flying emblem of the strength of the American military. It is anticipated that the C-5M Super Galaxy will stay in service until at least the year 2040. However, by that time, there will be a desire for a newer and most likely even larger aircraft. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. Crazy maintenance of the largest aircraft for U.S. Air Force. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below on whether or not this plane is the largest thing you've ever seen. And that wraps things up. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Please hit like and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you in the next one.